So we've all been there. We pick out our perfect frame in Canva and we have an image that we want to use in it. And once we get it into our frame, what happens? Okay, his head is cut off. I don't want his head cut off. I'm going to move it this way. It's still cut off. I'm going to move it this way. It's still cut off. Make it bigger. Move it down. Still cut off. I cannot get that image into the frame the way I want it. Here is a workaround. So I'm going to open up a new page right here so we can work on it. I'm going to get that original image. What I'm going to first do is I'm going to click on my background. I'm going to go into the color. Now I know I'm going to cut off the bottom of this image, so I'm not going to worry about the color down here. I'm going to have this area up here in my frame. So I'm going to go into the color picker and I'm going to pick out a color that's in here. I'm going to pick out like one of these grays in the sky. So once I've got that taken care of, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to apps and I'm going to type in image blender. And then we're going to click there. I'm going to go into the image blender. The image is selected, so I'm going to select that image. And then I am going to put on radial. Now I'm going to move my radial where I want, what part I want in my frame. So I'm not going to worry about the bottom. If you're trying to get the bottom because maybe it's a circle frame or something like that, you might want to do that in a different way. But I'm not going to worry about the bottom because I don't want that part in my frame, so that's not going to be a big deal for me. So once I got the part of the image I want into my frame, I am going to line that radius up like that. Now you can make it bigger or smaller by pulling here. But we're just going to go right here for the moment, and I think I'm going to move it over this away a little bit because that's what I kind of want in there. And I'm going to line that top up a little bit. Then the strength. Since his head is so close to the top of that image, I want to be able to see that. So if he's a little further down, you can vary the strength of how strong you want that. But I'm going to put it really, really, really light across the edge right there. It's going to give him a little bit of a fade on the top of his head, but not too bad. That's not going to make it too icky, for lack of a better word. So once I've got it where I want it, I'm going to push save. Now that I have that there, I can go ahead if I want to. I can make it bigger in here. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to File, Download. I'm going to pick out the current page. Done. Download. I'm going to go back to my original page that had the frame with the icky one in it. I am going to bring that download in. Now that I have my download in, I can put it in my frame. And now I can go and adjust it because now I have all that room at the top and the bottom. And I can bring them down like this. And now they are centered. And that is just a workaround that you can do. As you can see, there's a little bit of fuzz there at the top of his head. But, you know, a workaround is a workaround. But that is just one way you can do that as a workaround. And if it's not too terrible, another thing you might want to try too. Let's see. Let's go grab that image again. Now I'm going to hold this. I'm going to hold my control key down. I'm going to remove the background to this. I'm going to hold my control key and try to line these up over top of each other. Let's see. And then I'm just going to crop it down like so. And that'll get that fuzz off the top of his head. But it depends how strong your stuff is. You might see a line doing that. So we're gonna line that up like so. Bring that in, and there you go. And then that takes that line off the top. It just depends how much of a blend you do at the top. If you go too far in with the blend, that strong photo right there, it's going to look too strong over top of it, and you will definitely see a line. But that is also something else you can try to do. And if you really just want to, because it's the top of his head, instead of doing all that, just go like that and just get the top of his head back in there. And there you go. And that takes that fuzz out. And that's another workaround for you. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'm Michelle. If you stayed this long, please like, please subscribe. I love you guys, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.